People are afraid, they are petrified. It have them locked up in a them house, them don't want to go outside. All of the clubs and pubs locked down, I can't even dance to my champion sound, but I stay strong. Ready for self-isolation, Sean. Now we under attack, drones from out of space. So if you're going out, put gloves on, put a mask over your face. Me all a wrap up my dreadlocks and bring my cleansing cream with me. Maintain a good personal hygiene and stay 3 meters away from me. So I say go straight out the door. Coronavirus, you're not welcome anymore. Were you the one who tried to make me lay down and die? You think I'd grumble? You think I'd lay down and cry? I will survive. I will survive. Just as long as I know how to live, I know I'll stay alive. Clean out your house good, disinfect and sterilize. I've got my slick bang, domestos and my payroom by my side. Hope and pray the NHS don't fall apart. Big up the doctors and the nurses, we keep them in our thoughts. All those hours that them working just to keep people alive. Maximum respect due to all of you. My heart is full of pride. Now you see me say respect you. I'm not that selfish person in that supermarket queue. So if you feel like pushing past vulnerable people and I see all that anger that's inside, you don't want to upset me. So I say go straight out the door. Coronavirus, you're not welcome anymore. Were you the one who tried to hurt me with your lies? You think I'd grumble? You think I'd lay down and cry? Oh no, not I will survive. Yeah, as long as I know how to live, I know I will survive. People, clean out your house good, disinfect and sterilize. I've got my slick bang, domestos and my payroom by my side. So if just like me, you have lost good friends, and you don't know if it's corona or government and murder them, hello? One thing I know, just make sure you not end up in a hospital. Me not go make no doctor joke me. Me not take no vaccination. So I say go straight out the door. Coronavirus, you're not welcome anymore. People, clean out your house good, disinfect and sterilize. I've got my slick bang, domestos and my payroom by my side. Now they say that domestic abuse is on the increase because of all them dirty liars and them bedroom cheats. True lockdown, them can't sneak out, and their lover is all alone. So they keep texting, sending messages to your mobile phone. Your partner find out, and them get vexed. Them sip your naked picture, worse than that, them read them intimate text. Oh, but just like Shaggy, you tell them, no, it wasn't me. No, you see all this corona causing pure misery. So she say, go sleep on the floor. As far as she's concerned, you're not gonna get her zoom anymore. She treat you good, she treat you like a king and a man. And just because you couldn't keep your little something in your pants, so I say go straight out the door. Coronavirus, you're not welcome anymore. Were you the one who tried to make me lay down and die? You think I'd crumble? You think I'd lay down and die? No, to all those shopkeepers who are going to thief, what was £1.99 is £3.45 this week. Oh, now let me send out a little warning to all of them. I will send for all my friends, thief out your things and share with them. So I say go straight out the door. Coronavirus, you're not welcome anymore. Clean out your house good, disinfect and sterilize. I've got my slick bang, domestos and my payroom by my side. I will survive. I will survive. Yeah, as long as I know how to live, I know I'll stay alive. Hey, clean out your house good, disinfect and sterilize. I got my silk bang, domestos and my beer on by my side, so I say go.
This is a Friendly Fire production.
Hey everyone, my name is Lemon Lowe and I'm a bishop with Tradera. I just want to talk to you today about why Tradera. Well, why Tradera is that you now have an opportunity to learn a fresh, brand new skill. This is a skill that enables you to learn how to trade in the foreign market or the foreign exchange market. Many of us are already aware of what this includes. It's pretty much the exchanging of currencies in a particular country. So for example, if I'm here in Jamaica looking to travel to the United States, I would have to change my Jamaican dollars to US dollars. Now, I've heard of many stories of persons dabbling into foreign exchange or forex market and losing. However, for the first time now, you're able to be educated, yes, because knowledge is powerful. As a result, I have decided to mentor, encourage, and enlighten persons about how they can learn foreign exchange. Now, it's important to appreciate that this will not happen overnight. It is a process. So what I've created is a webinar, a daily webinar that talks about what is Forex, why persons are running to Forex, and how it is that you are able to profit even if a market is doing well or a market is not. So what it simply means is that you and I are able to make profits whether our market is doing good or bad. And that is powerful, especially because of what's happening with the pandemic today. So if you are interested in learning more about Forex and how you can actually leave a legacy for your children's children, well, my number is 876-778-2216. Again, my name is Lemon Lowe and the number is 876-778-2216. You can WhatsApp me or DM me. Looking forward to educating you. Thank you and have a good rest of the day.
Yes. Good evening. Gosh, it's a good night. You know, summertime here in New York City. Boy, I'm gonna tell you, sun's still out. As you can see my backdrop, the sun is still shining through my window. At that one, it's 8:10 p.m. right now in New York City, and the sun is still bright. You know, nights will be falling about 9:30 night will be falling here in New York City. So, you know, just want to welcome you all to another week of my perspective. You know, as I promised, I will be continuing part 2 of our topic from last week, which was mental health. We were discussing, myself and my brother, Milton Swaby. He will join me in a few minutes. So, but in the meantime, I just want to discuss some things that have been happening and have been very troubling for me for the past, you know, I must say for the past weeks. And I want to start with Jamaica. You know, once again, the sexual assault of young girls under the age of 16 continues. But what has been most disturbing about it is pastors, yes, pastors, man of the cloth, who are being charged with rape and sexual assault and young girls. And I see a message came out from the JCC president. Yes, sorry about that. And he talks about all these pastors, what's going on in the church, and the process that they went through, the process that they're going through in terms of vetting pastors and what they're recommending. You know, why would that now reach a stage that you got to be vetting pastors? Yeah, why would I have to vet pastors at the background check to make sure pastors are now morally competent and they are able to have self-control and they are not those sexual predators like all those men on the street, the regular men in the street? it's troubling for me. Yes, very troubling times in terms of that with the pastors in Jamaica right now who are sexually molesting young girls. The last one I read was yesterday. A 12-year-old girl was sexually molested. And recently a pastor, no, I'm sorry, gentleman sexually molested a 12-year-old girl. A pastor was charged with rape. And he was 39. You know, and I'm trying to understand what psychological, why would they be looking, especially grown men? What drives them to look at young girls under the age of 16? Is that they're weak? Is that they look at those girls, those young girls as weakling, and they think can take advantage of them? Something is wrong. Yeah, something is wrong. And it's not even, it's not even that. It's all over the place. Yeah, it's all over the place, my brothers. And it is just crazy. It's just crazy to see that that pastors are now involved in these kind of activities, which they should be more like be giving guidance and to all the young girls and these women in Jamaican society. When I hear this thing, it just get me more. I think sometimes the mind gets crazy thinking, how can you deal with people like these? How can you detect persons like these? Men and pastors who prey on young women. How can we detect them? And this is a challenge I either that we need tougher laws. One came to my mind that if you're charged with rape, you should be your testicles and your penis should be removed completely. That's one of my thoughts that came up, and then I can recall that there are some countries who does that. When they're men or boys who prey on the young, they're charged and they're convicted, and their private parts are removed as a part of the process too. I'm not sure if the laws are tough enough in Jamaica, or the laws are tough enough everywhere around. Some countries have some tough laws, as I said, removing all the private parts and the part of the punishment too, and all that, so they can't do no more damage to someone. Here in New York, you go on a registry, and wherever you live, your neighbors know that you're a molester or a sexual, you're a molester and you're a rapist. Yes, you got to go on that registry for once you're known, and therefore the community, if they know you're that type of person, they can either reject you or ask you to move. So maybe it's time Jamaica laws get more tougher, more. I don't have the answers, but hopefully they will look at it. Moving on quickly, I just want to say before we bring my brother from another mother, Mr. Swabian, to continue our topic of mental health. I see where the two big world leaders met today. I'm not sure world leaders, but Mr. Putin and Mr. Biden, they met today, and Biden laid out his case with cyber attack and the meddling in American elections and all that, and other things he had disapproved. I'm not sure. I was gonna wait and see in the next 6 months, a year or so, if Putin is going to change his way, because to me, that man him not care. Him do feel, if he not believe him involved, him just not gonna care. So if cyber attack come again from Russian operatives or wherever, he might not act on it. He just might ignore. But so we gotta wait and see if the relationship between Russia and USA will improve in the next 3 to 6 months or a year. Because there's always something, leaders like Putin love to have their own ways. And they love to dictate their own thing, and they want to do their own thing their own way. They don't want USA to speak to them. But the G7 has spoken, and to Biden represent G7 countries, and they're saying that these are the concerns they have with Russia and China. I know China is going to be one of those boys. China is going to be difficult though, because China's economy is enormous, and they do a lot of business around the world. Everybody. And the beneficial there for most of the countries like Germany. Right now, there's some bidding between China and Germany in terms of, I think, infrastructure development in China, in Germany. So there are a lot of things. Politics is a whole scenario by itself. My favorite family of YouTubers. But without further ado, I'm going to invite my brother. I'm going to invite my brother, another Madam Sway, to come in and join me so we can continue the discussion on mental health. I'm going to add him right now. My brother.
Very pleasant evening to you. Well, to God.
See, now you want to add, you want to send to the screen about Oscar, you sound like you're on one side of the screen.
Oh, I tell you, I position myself away here because I'm having a little leg problem as we speak.
Yeah, really?
My knee, Brother Sean. Probably it was one of those tackles that I gave you at JC.
Well, they catching up back to you, my brother.
I tell you, that is how life is, you know.
Yes.
That is how life is. As we get older, things happen, you know.
Yeah. Same himself last week. I've been going through a lot of stuff myself, and I went to the doctor. Doctor said, "Oh, your sugar is way up."
Wow.
So the doctor said, "Yeah." So my mom always told me that she had it. She had diabetes and she had hypertension too. So she warned me about it, but
yes,
they said no, catch up on me. So go do what for do.
Don't say one more word, my brother. Don't say one more word.
Yes,
Don't say anything else.
Yes, sir.
Let us just wrap up some things.
Yes, sir. I know the formality go already. You know what
yes,
time
man.
it is.
Yes, man. Father God, as we meet this evening, you know of all our issues, you know of all our concerns, even before it happens. So as we reach out this evening to you, I ask you for healing in every sector of the body. For us, for our family, and for our friends. Father, as we continue on this very important topic and issue of mental illness, that you will open the windows and the doors of our minds to accept and understand that everything through you can be erased and can be cured. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen and amen.
Amen, my brother. Amen.
Yes, man.
So, I just said we come back last week and we have to go back through this thing about mental health, and we realized we have to do a part 2. And, we have to just give it to the people as it is. And just to do a little recap. And we talk about the root causes. And one of the root causes, the causes we identify, as you identify, we agree on, were circumstances. Circumstances can vary financially, socially, living condition, education, And then the second one, so the second root cause was people. Yeah, people around you, the environment of people we associate yourself with. Those are things that could have the people who are affected us. And then it could be gene, they call it link too. Coming from one of your family who might have a history of mental illness, and you maybe dad, mom have it, and then you inherit it. And the fourth one, biggest one, one of the biggest one, we talk about was yourself. Yes, we talk about yourself. So those are the four. There were 4 we discussed. Yourself. But we have one more to discuss, and we highlighted last week after we close our show. That self-control is one of the biggest ones. But we'll talk about that in a few. Let's get a little recap. So we talk about solutions. The solution, we said that activities, whether we play music, whether we go to the gym, whether we do some fun sporting activity, do something that's fun. And also more renewing the mind. That means in terms of how we think, how we dress, how we speak, you know, thinking, putting ourselves in a different frame of mind to keep our mental strength intact. And then we say remove negative people and thoughts. Yes. So we say remove all the negative people and negative thoughts. Because that of mental, that can create mental health issues for us too. And also with lifestyle, one of the things help us with lifestyle, renew our lifestyle. You know, if we use eat, if we have eat, like for me now, might have changed my diet. So, keep on mental health lifestyle, keep it going like food, whatever, clothes, shit, and all that. And one thing we talk about, say, love yourself first, and you will love others. And that love must be sincere, as we talk about. Yeah. Love yourself first, and you will love others. And that love must be sincere. And I just say love conquers all. So, and then we talk about the conditions, 3 conditions we identify: anxiety, mood, and schizophrenia. Those are the 3 types of mental health we have identified. So, my brother, let us continue on mental health. And let us go to the root cause why we missed out: self-control.
Well, in regards to self-control, it goes very deep.
Right.
And it is a situation
Right.
where, as it says, self-control, meaning that you can't do it for me.
Right.
Nobody can do it for me.
Right.
I have to do it for myself.
Right.
And self-control is a virtue. In other words, it is a fruit of the spirit.
A fruit of the spirit.
Yes. And when we talk about self-control, Sean, one has to be very mindful as to the thoughts that you occupy when you're alone.
The thoughts that you occupy when you're alone.
When you're alone. Like you're at home or even on the job and you're away from others and you sit and all sort of negative vibration will come at you. Things from the past.
Yes.
We love to hold on to the past.
Yes.
And let me tell you something, Sean. It happens to all of us.
Right.
Barring none.
Right.
And for some people, their lack of self-control, controlling their thoughts, eliminating, whereby I shared with you, do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good.
Right.
And I stated to you that evil comes in all different formats and shape. And self-control is so important.
Yes.
Whereby even when negative vibration comes at you, not only from your thoughts, but from other people, learning to control your emotions, not to get caught up in regards to what is being said, whereby a lot of times, it is not words of encouragement. No, it is normally things that are very obnoxious.
Right.
Things to hurt you.
Yes.
And you have to exercise that self-control along with the love I emphasize on in our first discussion, where love plays an entire role.
Yes.
In everything we do.
Right.
And you have to discover that when it comes on to love, as it is written, where love your neighbor as yourself. Yeah, you have to love yourself
Mm-hmm.
in order to pass on that love to others.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it can be difficult
Right.
because for everything that is being said, I do not want anyone to believe
Mm-hmm.
at any point in time
Yes.
that what is being said, and that is why you went on a road the other day to say, boy, but Swaby, some people this, that. I know it is not an easy road.
Mm-hmm.
It is not an easy road to love someone
Mm-hmm.
who most of the time doesn't have anything positive to say to you.
Right.
Or two, it is not easy to exercise that self-control
Mm-hmm.
and not to get emotional
Right.
in regards to how you react.
Mm-hmm.
So self-control, as I said, goes right across the board.
Mm-hmm.
Not only with yourself,
Mm-hmm.
but in regards to others and
Mm-hmm.
what will be said, whereby you can't allow yourself to, I would say, to go down to the level that that person is at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is where maturity of the mind comes in.
Mm-hmm.
And that is where, as I said, the whole table
Mm-hmm.
as to the virtues comes in.
Mm-hmm.
You have to exercise kindness no matter what,
Mm-hmm.
gentleness,
Mm-hmm.
and all of those things.
Right.
Not only expressing it to others,
Right.
but also to yourself. Because
Right.
everything that is being said is within.
Right.
It starts from within, and that is where it also centers within.
Mm.
Now, when I made mention last week
Mm-hmm.
in regards to mental illness,
Right.
in regards to the root of it,
Right.
where it can be initiated or caused from other people,
Mm-hmm.
because you have some people that they have mental issues and they try to rub it off on other people.
Mm.
Oh yes, they don't believe that
Mm-hmm.
once they are not happy, you're supposed to be happy.
Word.
And you have to be very mindful
Mm-hmm.
of what is said to you and as to your acceptance of what is said. So that is why I have always said, you have to constantly guard the doors and the windows of your mind. And when I always say that, Sean, to guard the doors and the windows of your mind and be very mindful as to what you listen to,
Mm-hmm.
and as to what you watch,
Right.
but also as to the thoughts that you entertain.
Mm. Thoughts.
Because mental illness goes to the point of people becoming suicidal,
Right.
and it can be stemmed from what they've been watching.
Right.
It can be stemmed from, yes, social, emotional, financial issues.
Right.
That is one to a point.
Right.
So you have to know that when it comes on to transformation
Mm.
and the renewing of the mind,
Right.
it is not a one-time or a one-day process.
Right.
As long as you're alive,
Mm-hmm.
you have to be constantly no longer conforming to certain attitudes, moods, and behavior, but work on yourself.
Right.
So a transformation and renewing of your thinking.
One second. Before you go continue with that thinking process of the renewing thinking and mind, self-control. You said that when we sit by ourselves in that silent mode, thoughts come over us in the past. Thoughts come over us in terms of things that evil things to do, or people might hurt us in the past or whatever. My question to you, my brother, how can we avoid those thoughts that come through us, those negative thoughts?
Sean, and listeners, I said it earlier on. Right now, as we speak, take it from me.
Mm-hmm.
None of us, none.
None.
Let us use a simple example. You're on the road driving,
Yes.
and a man bad driving,
Mm.
and the thought just flash to your mind, something not of a positive nature.
Right.
You're at home.
Yes.
You're a married man,
Yes.
and the thought will hit you
Mm-hmm.
to do something that is not of a positive nature towards your marriage.
Mm-hmm.
You're at work,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to be mindful.
Mm-hmm.
And that is why I say, Sean, as it is written, because
Yeah.
everything that I'm saying, it is flawless. It is a fact. It is stated, do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. When I'm doing motivational seminars, I will say to my audience, do not be overcome by negativities, but overcome negativities with positivities, because it's a part of life. Meaning that sometimes thoughts just come at you, but you have to harm yourself and say, no.
Mm-hmm.
That is not of my nature. I will not go there, because at the end of the day, there are always consequences.
Right.
And one vice leads to another.
Right.
So, in other words, I'm saying to you, it is not a play field that we're talking about. It's a
mind.
It's a battlefield. It's a battlefield.
Mm.
And every day we are challenged. And Sean, you'll be surprised to know that the challenges that comes at us, sometimes we don't have control over it. It comes. For some people, they let their guards down and they accept it and they are overcome. Because it says it,
Yeah.
Do not be overcome by evil. That means you can be overcome anytime.
But my brother, good night, Raymond. Respect my boss. Welcome, Mr. Stevens. Define evil. Define evil.
Sean.
You gotta
Hold on.
define evil.
Galatians. Hold on, Sean. Galatians 5, verse 19
Yes, sir.
to 21 gives us a list of the vices which are evil. Galatians 5, verse 22 to 23 gives us a list of the virtues, which is the fruit of the Spirit, which are the weapon and the shield. And the first that I gave you are the evil. When you look at it, it outlines it very simple. And when we talk about evil, Sean, we're at a stage and age right now that we know what we're talking about. Evil is bitterness. Evil is unforgiveness. Evil is covetousness. Evil is committing adultery. Evil is stealing. Evil is seeing another man and entertaining some very vicious thoughts. That is why, a person can be around you, Sean.
Mm-hmm.
They're smiling with you.
Yes.
But in their heart,
Mm.
I'm saying, you know, this Sean and him both in perspective and in this one, you know, people, as I say, evil travels through people,
Mm-hmm.
travels through ourselves, because we are people, yes?
Yes.
In regards to our thoughts,
Yes.
that is why you have to be very mindful of your thoughts, and that is why you have to be very mindful as to what comes out of your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
So when we talk about evil, I strongly believe that as we get older,
Mm-hmm.
one should become very much aware
Right.
as to exactly what it is around and what it is about. Like, you know, killing a man is evil.
Yes.
Committing any form of evilous thoughts
Mm-hmm.
is also evil. Because sometimes, you know, people, I always say, listen, you have the visible
And then invisible.
and I just differentiate it, whereby,
Right.
you know, a man can be smiling with you.
Right.
And, you know, that is why they say God judges from the heart. And that is why it is also written, Galatians 6 verse 7, whatever a man sow, is it him going to reap. You can't can and get grip.
Mm-hmm.
So if you get up tomorrow morning and you live by the gun, Sean, you're sowing.
Yeah.
Be careful of the seed that you're sowing.
Live by the gun, die by the gun. That's what they always say.
And if you get up this morning
Mm-hmm.
with this bitterness within you,
Mm-hmm.
and you're sowing bitterness for the whole day,
Mm-hmm.
you can't expect to reap joy. You can't expect to accomplish your I will.
I can.
And your I can, and your I am. Because your I am is knowing who you are, that you are fearfully and wonderfully made.
Yeah.
But when all is said, as I said before, Sean,
Mm-hmm.
it is not an easy road, but it is all possible. Once one sets
Mm-hmm.
their journey along humility, repetition,
Mm-hmm.
discipline, and commitment via the word of God.
Mm-hmm.
No. Sean,
Yes.
when I say what I say, it goes very deep. And, you know, I set certain guards
Mm-hmm.
at my doors and my windows.
Mm-hmm.
One of my guards there is 2 Timothy 2:23. Yeah, man. Do not have anything to do with stupid or foolish arguments. They only lead to quarrel. Quarrel lead to anger.
Right.
Anger lead to all form of mental imbalance.
And it's our mental imbalance. What about those persons who don't believe that they are mental imbalance? What about those persons who think that they're normal, but they have bipolar disorders? What about those persons who believe that they're not in that streak of illness?
Well,
How do we help them?
Sean, one thing I've known and I've discovered in this life, that there is so much that we can do
Right.
sometimes in regards to where people and illness
Right.
are concerned.
Right.
And yes, you have people who are living in denial, just like you'd say to a man, you know, you have a bitterness spirit, you know, or you have an unforgiveness spirit, you know, and he would say, boy, no, I don't have nothing like that. Yet still, him just entertained you with a story in which it doesn't take a rocket scientist to realize that this man have a bitterness problem,
Mm-hmm.
and he have an anger problem, and he have an unforgiveness problem,
Right.
and things have a way to manifest itself.
Right.
And I can say to you, boy, Sean, I'm not a gunman.
Mm-hmm.
Until I'm held with a gun,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean all the denying and the denying and the denying. I mean, it is obvious. And people will always
Mm-hmm.
try to place all sort of fanfare to say
Around it.
yes, that
So-
I
so
don't
people-
have a problem. I don't have a mental problem. I don't da. But Sean,
Mm.
we all have our journey. We
Right.
all have our stories.
Right.
And you know, it is important that as iron sharpens iron,
Mhm.
so another man sharpens another. To talk with people,
Right.
to share,
Right.
you know, to hear probably of other people who have been there,
Uh-huh.
done that.
And but 1 second, my brother, you got some points at people, and I've realized a lot. I think one of the greatest mental health issues is people living in denial. They don't recognize that they have an issue or a problem. You on the outside, you see that they have an issue and they're living in that denial world. It's like a fake world for them. And I think that's one of the mental issues I've come across a lot of friends and families who live in that moment of denial that they have an issue.
Yes, but one of the things that I've come to self-realization about, Sean,
Mhm.
is that
Hold on, before you go on, and if you point out to them, they will say it's not true. I am not that way. But the facts and evidence are different. They didn't see it. So that's why I asked the question before: how do you help people who have mental issues but they're not seeing it?
and as I said to you, Sean, that I've come to a perfect understanding that no matter what you may say or do in certain circumstances when it comes down to this subject area
Right.
and other areas,
Right.
people will always place themselves to say, listen, I do not have a drinking problem. I do not have a gambling problem. I do not have this problem. I don't have. And believe that in saying so, it will eliminate
Mm.
whatever the issue is at hand. And it doesn't work that way.
So therefore, it's a mental issue then, because if they have drinking problem, smoking problem, and all of it, and they are still denying that there's a problem, they figure drinking away, smoking away is solving the problem. That's what you're saying?
Sean, people are always seeking. And a lot of us will go on the wrong road.
Mm-hmm.
You're on a main road, and you turn off and believe, say, boy, yes, this is the right road.
Mm-hmm.
And when you go around there, you realize you end up on a cul-de-sac.
Yes.
At the end,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and that is where a lot of people sometimes find themselves. And not until
Mm-hmm.
you realize, and you know, Sean, when all is said and done, you know,
Mm-hmm.
it is all dependent on you. You.
Yourself.
Yes, it's like there have been cases whereby people who have been get caught up in using drugs, and you realize that when they go to rehabilitate themselves,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes they lock them away in a room for days
Mm-hmm.
to detox.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and these are things that I've read, I've seen in the shows and
Yes,
so forth.
yes.
So knowledge. And I know you understand what I'm saying. So, in other words, what I'm saying to you is that the battle that exists, when it comes on to do not be any longer conform to the ways of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Transformation and the renewing of your mind, because remember now, Sean, we all have a mind of our own.
Right.
And people will seek counseling. People will seek all different avenues. And in other words, some people seek the wrong avenue.
That's probably the wrong avenue. You know,
and then add to what?
So therefore, it basically compound the mind more and it just take control.
Oh yes,
my brother. You know, 8:48, and we still have some more to go. I want to step up to another level.
Yes.
Social media.
Oh, Sean.
Social media and smartphones.
Sean,
what impact it have on the mental health side of people, right?
Sean, you know, I tell you, there's one thing I admire about you, know, from school days. You love to make your notes. And I remembered last week after we finished our on the air, and we spoke for a little while on the phone.
Right.
When we were there, you were really making some notes and saying, listen, boy, oh boy, these things we have to bring up come next week, because I love what you're saying.
Yes.
Because there's so much, and I tell you, you know, and probably we need to have a part 3 on this thing, because this thing is so deep and wide, you know, that even the authorities here now in Jamaica is realizing how it is affecting children on a whole, you know, and how, you know, how serious
social
mental illness is as to social media. Because, Sean, social media has its advantages and it has disadvantages.
Yes,
or put it this way, social media has its evils and it has
yes, it's a real and
yes,
my pastor, you always go about social media but for me personally, from my perspective, I use it for the good.
Sean,
it has so much of both sides of the world. It's like it is balance out there. Balance, good balance. And then you as an individual within the middle have to choose one side.
Sean, I tell you, what has been happening with social media, it has been causing a lot of people to forget about their I am, their I can, and their I will. Oh yes, especially their I am. And you know, let us break it down quickly as to what I'm stating.
Yes.
Pound on it. Social media, which for me, most of the time I'm on Facebook. I do a lot of posting on Facebook, sharing on Facebook. Right. And when you're on Facebook, you realize that there's people from all walks of life post on Facebook. And sometimes what you're seeing is not real. In the sense that listen to me. Fake news, Sean, is moving very fast and furious nowadays.
Yes, sir.
And people post all sort of fake lifestyle. And some people gravitate towards it. And then all of a sudden, they want to be that person. Jesus. Yes, they want to, they forget that they are fearfully and wonderfully made. They forget totally about their I am. Yeah, man. It's you, because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. And I am aware of the wonderful things that you have done. They have forgotten that they are unique. And all of a sudden, they want to be like the Browns and like the Jones. And you don't even have the slightest clue that what you're seeing is fake. Because, Sean, people are so good nowadays in presenting fake.
Yes.
That if you are not strong within yourself,
Yes. You get caught up.
oh yes, oh yes, everything seems to be fine and done, and it is
So
not
basically,
so.
yes. But you're saying with all those fake news and fake everything out there, fakeness, it also creates that mental, it plays with your own psychic.
But don't all of some people now, Sean, they don't even know who they are. They do not even know who they are. To be straightforward, you know, you have girls dressing like boys, boys dressing like girls, and you know, to each his own. But to know what is right from what is wrong, that is how deep it is.
Yeah, but my brother, I
yes.
don't want to cut you. But what happened is that a lot of people are followers and not leaders.
Well,
And we
Sean,
can't go in that separate, different topic. But
oh yes. So you see, that is where it goes. As I said, where you do not know who you are. Your I am is that you're lost. Sean, when you talk about you're fearfully and wonderfully made, you know, I'm saying you're unique. That is why each and every one of us have a different fingerprint.
Yes, a different fingerprint, a different DNA.
So we have been created by the Creator.
Yes.
Who knows us from we were in our mother's womb. That is how deep it is. And I mean, you know, all of us need to come to self-awareness. That listen, I don't have to look like that person, talk like that person, walk or dress like that person.
Yes.
To be unique. No, I am unique as I am.
Yes.
I am confident, Sean. I am very important to know your I am. Because people will come and try to define you.
They always want to.
If you notice, even sometimes when you're right, you know, people will want to come and tell you otherwise. You know, I realize we don't respect each other's views anymore too.
And that's a problem. And you know,
a very big one. So that is where, Sean, your I can is so important. Yes, I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. And you better believe it and know it. That you can or what?
So, my brother, social media then. You have to stay on the good side of social media.
That you have to stay?
You have to stay on the good side. The positive. It's same thing you're saying here with mental health. We have to stay, guard your mind, renew your spirit, renew your mind. But you have to keep, same with social media, you got to keep it positive. Stay with things that are positive on social media.
So that is where your I will comes in now. And I tell you this? Every day your I will is challenged.
Yes. Even to my WhatsApp group.
Sean, the WhatsApp group, people try to challenge your I will.
Yes.
On Facebook, some posting sometimes. I mean, you
Twitter,
know, it's just the negativities of life that some people dwell on. You know, not realizing that the blessing starts from the fact that we woke up this morning and, you know, your I will, this is the day that the Lord has made, and I will rejoice and be glad in it. Sean, you can't make a day, I can't make a day. No. So we have to give thanks. And if you don't learn to have gratitude with it, it can also affect you mentally. You get up every day, And you get up with this attitude, and you just get up with the wrong attitude, Sean, and then you just go up on social media.
Yeah.
You have some other people who have the same negative vibration.
Yeah.
And when you have a fire burning already, and you throw gas on it, what will happen?
They explode, they get bigger. My brother, we got 2 minutes to wrap this up. 2 minutes, time goes so fast.
I tell you, Sean. And when we're having fun, especially when we're having fun.
Oh, brother. That's why we need to do. But so bottom line is that for social media and the mental health is that we got to keep it to avoid getting into the illness part. We got to keep our social media, whether it's WhatsApp, whether it's YouTube, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Twitter, whether it's Instagram. We got to keep it positive. Keep on the positive side of things.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Because once again, there's the positive and there's the evil side. And both equal on social media.
One thing I want to say too, quickly.
Yes.
Let us not fool ourselves.
Yes.
Same way how we are trying to spread positive vibration with your wonderful program, I must say, which I am very glad to be a part of, which I'm here anytime, as you know.
Yes, sir.
Your perspective is to spread the good. Sean, there are people out there who every day try to spread the bad or spread evil, so to speak.
Yes.
Try to spread negativities.
Yes.
Who believe in the negative side of life. And if you don't guard the doors and the windows of your mind, it will rub off on you. And that is why, the whole issue of why so much things happening around us now. So fast and furious.
Yes.
Because social media is fast and furious, Sean. Remember, with the touch of a button, you have 1 million views. Sean, you know what amazes me sometimes? To see where, when you listen to some negative vibes from certain sector, that the other day I tried to highlight, and some people look at it from a different view and say, boy, you're attacking a particular sector in regards to crime. And I said, no, the issue at hand is, listen, just like a cake, several ingredients that make a cake to bake it is the same way in regards to the whole issue. And you have these guys who have millions of views, and when you listen to what them saying from start until finish, it's all about the gun. From start until finish, it's all about negative vibration,
and people feel into it,
Sean, daily, and it is so easy now because of the smartphones, whereby I don't have to be at home to be viewing negativities. I mean, anywhere I am at,
you can get negativity.
Oh yes, and so for some people, they overfeed themselves, Sean. Thank you.
But once you overfeed themselves, negative will take you over. That's what it was. So, you have said it all, my brother. We have to keep our minds, feed our mind and spirit with positiveness. Remove all the negative forces around us, people. You understand? Especially people, because it's always that. Social media has both sides of the world.
Oh, yes.
And evil. So we got to stay on the good side. That's what we are saying.
Yes.
And my brother, from another mother, I want to thank you once again to come and highlighting it. And I hope that my viewers really appreciate what we brought, what we discussed tonight. Because mental health issue is it's a battlefield.
Oh, yes.
And it's going to be constant. It's going to be constant in our lives till the day we till we leave this earth. And as my brother said, we got to guard our minds. We got to renew our spirit, renew our minds, and all that.
Yes, daily, Sean, daily. Because you know, you get up this morning
Mm.
and you had a job yesterday,
Mm.
and only to go into a work and you hear your boss say, Sean, I want to talk to you for a minute. Boy, we're going to have to make you redundant, you know. And when you look at the pandemic situation here now, and knowing that you have bills, family, young and thing, right away, it can trigger mental issues, you know. If you don't
My brother.
have your guard and know, say, listen, this too shall pass.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Sean. Sean, it comes in all quarters.
Yeah, and that's why we have to keep talking. And my brother, once again, I want to thank you. We have run out of time. It's unfortunate, but you know, I'm sure we will come back down the road to have a discussion about mental health and some of the solutions. Because we never go much in solutions, but we need to look at solutions and see how much we can see, how we can help our people going through these mental issues.
Yeah, man. The major vaccine here, Sean.
Eh?
Major vaccine. I want to leave with everyone.
Mm-hmm.
The vaccine for mental illness.
Mm.
For those who want to believe, fine. For those who, because as you can see, all the vaccine thing, people believe, some don't, and that is just how life is.
Yes.
The virtues. In other words, another name, the fruit of the spirit.
Live by the fruit of the spirit. Live by the virtues. That's what you're saying.
Yes. Every day, place it inside of you. Walk with it. Talk with it. Eat with it. Everything with it. And that is it.
My brother, thank you. And have a wonderful night. And we will talk.
Thank you, Sean.
Did you get the vaccination yet, boss?
Working on it.
No. I don't want to work. Please go and get vaccinated. All right?
Yes, sir.
And we talk. All right? Thanks again for coming on. Be safe. One love. Good night. My viewers, for joining my perspective for another episode. It's coming to 1 year anniversary. I couldn't believe it. It's coming to 1 year anniversary of my perspective. When it comes to 1 year anniversary, after that, I will take a little break. We'll take a summer break, you know. It's been a long, long road with my perspective for a year. I can't believe 1 year has come up so fast. So once again, my brothers and sisters, make sure you get vaccinated. If not, wear a mask, social distancing, wash your hands. And remember, if you feel well, just turn on the yard. Turn on the yard, man. Yes, man. And remember, you know, it's all about one love. And remember, mental health illness is no joke, my brothers and sisters. So please, be safe. Have a wonderful week. One love, and God bless you all. And thank you for joining another episode of My Perspective. Your host, Sean Falconer. One love. Good night.